It is the team competition. It's going to be an absolutely incredible spectacle, great halftime show. I hope you guys all will enjoy that. We are set to go here in just 5 minutes time here in the $37,000 meter 45 FEI 2-star qualifier presented by Marble Hill Farms. They're absolutely one of the best sponsors you could hope to have here. Longtime supporters of Angelstone and Major League show jumping. Marble Hill, whether you are looking for the right place, that special partner to spend the retirement years, or looking for the right environment for your next champion to grow up in, Marble Hill Farm is a premier experience for your horse, located just north of Schaumburg on 100 beautiful rolling acres of picturesque Ontario farmland. Great place to retire your horse and do a wonderful job for us. They really care about the animals, and it shows in the product. Marble Hill Farm is such a great sponsor of Angelstone. Thank you very much for your generous sponsorship of this great meter 45 class. There is going to be a huge field of entries here. I have 62 in the start list, so it's going to be a long afternoon, and it's going to be very exciting indeed. I'm sure we'll have some great rides from some of the top riders in the world, and it's a great preview of what we'll see tonight. So with that, we will be getting underway in about 3 minutes time. Please join us if you have the FEI or the VIP credentials up in the lounge right now. We've got a great spread up there for the folks at Guild. We've got food stations there, and then of course we've got the 2027 wine bar set up, as well as the espresso cappuccino station. So please make your way up there and enjoy a wonderful lunch. We'll take in some of these great horse rider combinations in just a couple minutes time. All right, we are set to go here in the BFL Stadium here with the Marble Hill meter 45 FEI 2-star class. About to activate our stream to around the world. To all of you joining us on the Major League Show Jumping Up, welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, as I mentioned, we have 62 starters, so it's going to be essentially two large Grand Prix mashed together here. And I got to tell you, whoever is going to go up on top is going to be very, very fast indeed. So it should be an electric finish and jump off. We have our first entry here in the ring. Let's welcome our first rider. We have a great field of international riders here. We have one of our South Americans joining us from the great country of Argentina. I've always wanted to go down there and sample the great wine in the Mendoza region. This is Thomas Joffre. He's riding Cher Cheval. It's an entry from Stellium Sport Horses LLC. It's a 9-year-old gelding out of Germany. So looks up on the board, we're going to have 8 jumping faults plus tack on 5 time faults there. The time allowed currently posted is 71 seconds. They'll have a total of 13 faults there for Thomas Joffre and Cher Cheval. Next up, I'd like to welcome another one of our international riders here out of Israel. This is Sydney Schulman. She's riding J Boston SE. She's a 13-year-old mare out of Sweden. Launching up through the line there, looks up to the board, 71.33. Unfortunately, just over the time allowed there by 0.33 seconds, but she left all the rails up. Great jumping performance there from Sydney Schulman, and we'll see if that gets adjusted. It's currently a one-time fault for them. And moving on to our next rider, riding the United States of America, this is Angela Swanson. She's riding Belle Z. Belle Z is owned by AE Swanson Farms LLC, and it's a 14-year-old mare Zangerscheid out of Germany. And a rider elects to retire. There was Angela Swanson there, and she pulled up, and great for her to hang on to the horse. It was quite a crafty piece of riding there from Angela. And we are set to go with our next rider here. We're still looking for our first clear round. We were close with Sydney, but she had a time fault. Let's see if Samantha Rice and Ringwood Zebo have what it takes. They're riding for Energy Farm LLC. It is a 13-year-old gelding bred from Ireland out of Halifax. We look up to the board there. Looks like we're going to show 8 faults there for Samantha Rice and Ringwood Zebo. 2 rails coming down there, 68.2 on the clock. Well, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you were here yesterday, we were thrilled 2 times by this incredible American rider. He was on fire last night with his horse, and he is back with another one. Yesterday, absolutely lighting up with this one, Chateauloup. And Ken Farrington is a horse owned by Amalaya Investments. It's a 9-year-old bay out of Choco Blue, bred in Germany. And yesterday it was absolutely wired and electric. So we'll see if he has more in store. Let's bring on Ken Farrington. We'll see if we can go for the first clear round of the afternoon. Absolutely electric. A clinic gets put on by Ken Farrington. I gotta tell you, that's gotta be one of the best 9-year-olds on the planet. Do you see that horse jump? Oh my God, Chateauloup is a beautiful animal, and that is our first clear round. Onto the jump off with Ken Farrington. We'll move on to our next rider here, competing from Canada. This is Kelly Robinson. She's with Blues Your Daddy. Coming across the line there, just an early rail there for Kelly Robinson and Blues Your Daddy. We're going to tack on one time fault there, the total 5 for Blues Your Daddy. Next up here, we welcome Gabrovo here to the BFL Stadium. Gabrovo is being driven today by Summerhill out of the United States. Is a 10-year-old gelding Hanoverian, Germany, bred by Grey Top. up and over the final Angel Stone combination there. That's 72-79 there on the clock. 10 faults. We'll have 2 rails down and 2 time faults there for Summerhill and Gabrovo. I'd like to welcome back from Team Eye Candy. They'll be competing tonight in the team competition from Ireland. This is Dylan Daly. He's riding Casebrook Le Monde. Casebrook Le Monde is owned by Team Eye Candy. It's a 14-year-old stallion off Larawan Lansing Kalido. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a very hard fall there with Dylan and Casebrook Le Monde. We're going to look at that horse very carefully there. Let's see if we can get a bring event in to look at that horse. We're going to afford sufficient amount of time for that horse to be inspected. We need to be very, very careful and demand best respect for these animals. They try so hard for us. We'll all be thinking about Casebrook Le Monde. What a beautiful animal that is, and we hope that horse gets the care it needs and gets back in the ring real soon. That was Dylan Daly. Unfortunately, a quick crash at 5. We're moving on to our next rider here. This is Canadian Erin Bowers making her return after the WAG. This is aboard Nadal van Doperheide. It's a horse owned by Elan Furter. It's a 9-year-old gelding bred out of Belgium. Great job from our Equine Choice ring crew to get number 5 all set up, and we'll wind Erin up. We'll see if she can challenge Kent Farrington and Chateauloup to go on to the jump off. Up and over the final combination there. Great recovery from Aaron, and just a time fault being tacked on there. A total of 5. 4 jumping, 1 time. An early rail there over by that beautiful FAF all-electric car. What a cool car that is. Definitely a bit more luxurious and a bit faster probably than a Tesla, I'd assume. And yeah, those folks at FAF really take care of us. Beautiful car in the ring. Speaking of beautiful things, we got another great horse here in the ring. This is Teddy Z and Callie Schott riding out of the USA. They're representing the Crusaders. They'll be playing tonight in the big class tonight at 8:30. Up and over the final fence. Amazing. That was Callie Schott. We have one more through to the jump off, guaranteed there. We've got Ken Farrington, Chateauloup, and now Callie Schott and Teddy Z. Great round for them. And we're moving on to another member of the Eye Candy. Her teammate just had a bit of a hold up there on 5. We haven't heard back yet. We heard that the rider there is okay, so that's great. Still learn back from the horse. This is Amy Miller. She's riding GCS Athena. Total of 8 faults there for Amy Miller and GCS Athena. We're still looking for the Canadians to make it through to the jump off. Last night they were all hunting, but they were all down in the order past the first 7 who made it through to the jump off. So we'll be cheering them through, see if we get some more Canadians to post some clear rounds there. Moving on to another Canadian who was very, very good in the saddle last night. This is Susan Horn and Curlo van den Bosrand. This is entry from Kingsfield Farm. He's a 12-year-old gelding bred out of Belgium. Up and over, total of 2 rails coming down there for Susan Horn and Kurlo van den Bosrand. We'll tack on 2 extra time faults there for a total of 10. Next up here, another Canadian moving along. This is James Gillum. James is riding Diarazzo de la Bay. It's an entry from Dion Prue and G&G Sport Horses Limited. And it's a 9-year-old mare out of France. Total of 12 jumping faults there, plus the 3 time faults, totaling up at 15 there with James Gillum and Diarazzo de la Bay. Next up here, riding of the United States of America, this is Nicolette Hirsch. She's riding Manolo Z. It's an entry from Ecurie Francoise Mathé, Bayard S.A. It's quite a mouthful. We got a 9-year-old gelding Zangerscheid here off Malord Carthago, bred out of Belgium. Up and over the final two fences, and we got a clear round. Electrifying performance there by Nicolette Hurt and Manolo Z. So we got company there at the top, only 3 making it through to the jump off through our first 14 riders. Very difficult course indeed, especially with that combination at the far corner, going away from the in-gate. It's very rare to have a double combination at the end of a course, so that presents a challenge there right at the end. And moving on to our next rider, this is Audrey Schultz and Darkito. Darkito is owned by Deirdre Borns and is 11-year-old gelding Hanoverian out of Germany. Coming through the final two fences there, that was Audrey Schultz and Darkito, total of 4 jumping faults, 3 time. Next rider, one of our Canadians here. This is Christine Carlson riding KBS Kiwi. Just a correction here, we have a Richie Maloney on course out of Ireland, Firth Carnley Premier. Through the line there with 2 rails down plus an extra time fall. Total of 9 there for Richie Maloney and Cornelia Premier. There she is. We welcome Christine Carlson to the ring here, riding for Canada. This is KBS Kiwi. It's an entry from Valhalla Equestrian. For the final two jumps there, one rail coming down a little bit earlier there, 70-66 there on the clock for Christine Carlson and KBS Kiwi. Great round from her with that nice horse. And we're moving on to another Canadian here. He's been competing back and forth at Caledon and here at Angelstone all season long with this girl, Big Girl Z here with Sam Pegg. We have four rails coming down there for Sam Pegg and Big Girl Z, 68-87 there on the clock. No time faults, but four rails coming down on that side. We got a whole slew of Canadians here, and it's so great to see Jay Hayes back here showing at Angelstone after a little bit of time off. I love this horse. He bred it. This is Elton John, and we're looking for a first Canadian to get through to the jump off. Let's cheer Jay on as he goes for a challenge against Ken Farrington, Kaylee Schott, and Nicolette Hurt, the three lone riders at the top there through the jump off. Total 3 coming down there, so there'll be 12 faults plus the time there, 71-24 for Jay Hayes and Elton John. Now have our next horse on course representing the Northern Lights. Almost a whole Canadian team, plus one Ortiz, of course. But he'll be off competing tonight in the team competition. This is Taylor St. Jacques and Jacques Achilles, entry from Tal Milstein Stables. And it's an 8-year-old mare bred from the Netherlands. Through the line there, we got one rail coming down, plus a time fault for Taylor, St. Jacques, and Achilles. Very rare, elusive clear rounds here. Very tough course indeed through the first section of the order. We have a good number of horses through the course, 62 here to go. So it's going to be a tight jump off for sure. I'm sure we'll add more horses on as we go, but it's been pretty competitive to date. Very difficult to move through the jump off. We have no Canadians currently there. Hopefully we can add a few as the afternoon rolls on. Wonderful to see our U.S. riders come up and visit. This young lady was absolutely electric last night in the class, and it'll be great to see her ride tonight as a member of the Roadrunners team. This is Kristen van der Veen. She's riding Bolt Runs Year A. It's an 8-year-old horse. It's a Holsteiner out of Germany, and yeah, we'll see if she can post a clear round and join the other 3 in the jump-off round. Up and over the final fence. No surprise there. An absolute clinician there in the saddle. Kristen van der Veen making it look real easy there. Bull Runs Year A going on to the jump off. That count them 4. 4 on to the jump off. And it's going to be pretty exciting. I know she'll be gunning for the top. I know she wanted to be there yesterday, but the guys had her beat a little bit, so she might be coming back and trying to get a little revenge today. And we got our next Canadian rider on. She is young and she's ascending. Great rider here for sure. Ella Dubois-Kilty. She's riding Contria. It's a horse owned by Rochelle Berube. 4 rails coming down there for Ella Dubois-Kilty, plus a time fault there. 17 there on the board for her and Contria. Moving on now to another one of our Canadians, Carly Campbell-Cooper. She's riding DSP Con Carthago, is owned by John Jameson. Is an 11-year-old gelding off Carthagos from Germany. And Carly Campbell-Cooper pulls up, elects to fight another day there with DSP Con Carthago. Up and through the line, the last double combination there, that was Hyde Moffat and Donjo. It's a horse owned by Ariel Grange, and who tack 4 jumping faults there on to Hyde's score. And next up here, riding from Ireland, this is Dara Kieran's. He's riding Intuitives, a horse and entry and owned by Eve Jobs. This is an 11-year-old gelding from Ireland. Up and over, let's look at the time, see if it holds. Unfortunately, a couple. Time fall, it's going to be tacked on. That horse has a lot of scope. He spends a lot of time in the air, a little too much, with 2 seconds being tacked on. Which will keep him out of the jump-off round with Derek Kenny. Moving on to one of the Canadians here. This is Wesley Newlands and Django Delise. It's a 9-year-old mare from France. Let's see if we can push another of these Canadians through the jump-off. Currently, we've got 4 Americans sitting there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost all the way through to the end there. Unfortunately, a rail coming down right at the end there for Wesley Newlands and Django Delise. We definitely thought that was going to be the one Canadian to get through there, but unfortunately, A coming down at the last combination there. So that will keep them out of the jump off and move on to our next competitor. And next up here, riding for the Northern Lights, one of the teams represented tonight in the team competition. This is Darren Delin and Odile VDM. It's a horse owned by Blue Trim LLC. It's an 8-year-old gelding off Diamant de Semilly. There's so many horses bred off Diamant de Semilly that we've had represented here at Angelstone this week. And it hails from Spain. Two jumping down. It's going to be 8 faults plus the 3 time faults. Total of 11 there for Darren DeLynn and Odile VDM. Next up here, this is Sayer Happy. She's riding Good Time Girl entry from AE Swanson Farms LLC. It's a 10-year-old mare, bred from Germany. And we look up to the board there. Unfortunately, the rails stay up, but 3 time faults there will keep them out of the jump off. That was Sayer Happy and Good Time Girl. Next up here, another one of Canadian riders riding under the Northern Lights. This is Sam Walker and Angelica Hero Z's entry from Claire Wen. Eight jumping faults there for Sam Walker and Angelica Hero Z. This is our last horse before the drag break. As I said, we have 62 in it, so we'll be taking some drag breaks to make sure these conditions are consistent all the way through. This is Canadian David Arcon. He's riding Dollar Del Col. That's an early afternoon there for David Arcon and Dollar Delco. They'll retire a little bit early. We'll get the course set back up for our next rider. We'll bring in the Kubota drag team for the drag, and we'll take a quick break. If you're up and joining us in VIP, you can take a little break over at the 2027 Wine Tasting Center. It's pretty good wine over there. My personal favorite is the Angelstone Rosé. It's great stuff. And also the espresso's pretty good at the far end of the bar. Okay, so we're going to take about 10 minutes now and get set. So we'll bring in our drag crew and get these conditions looking tip-top.
Your work never really stops. The jobs may change with the seasons, but the need for power, performance, and affordability doesn't. Right now, it's the perfect time to get a great price on durable, quality Kubota equipment. Upgrade your landscaping, construction, or farming equipment and attachments, and get what you need for the months ahead. Because work never stops, and neither does Kubota. See your local Kubota dealer today.
BFL goes the extra mile just by always being there when you need them. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend, it doesn't matter if it's after hours. If you need them, they're there.
It is really important to have horse people insuring you in the horse business because they know our sport, they know our business, and they help you understand what is covered, what is not covered.
It's integral to have horse people insuring us. BFL are horse people. So we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
I couldn't be happier with my coverage with BFL. They're a fantastic company, and I'm so thankful to be associated with them.
I'm Danielle Toronto, and we are customers of Marshall and Sterling. They have been amazing for us, for our business. They take care of our farm, our horses, our cars. It's basically one-stop shopping for us.
I'm Jimmy Toronto. Unfortunately, we've actually had to really use Marshall and Sterling for horse deaths, and I have to say that Marshall and Sterling has been an amazing company. They have taken care of things. It's been worry-free. The person we deal with, Missy, she takes it all upon herself. Once we go to her with the claim, she does it all for us. And I have to say, since we've been with Marshall and Sterling, I just can't think of going anywhere else. I put all my trust, all my faith in them.
Premier Equestrian, the #1 choice for footing products. Premier Equestrian, footing products that improve performance. Premier Equestrian, footing products for cushion and stability. Call 800-611-6109 or visit premierequestrian.com.
Our horses are not a commodity. Our horses are family members. And so in essence, when we're talking about equine insurance, we're insuring family members. So what could be more important than insuring family?
BFL is the absolute best insurance company that you can be with. They insure my horses, they insure my farm, they insure all of our automobiles. They are just a fantastic company when you need them.
We feel really great in our coverage with BFL. We don't have to worry, we're relaxed, and we can basically just focus on what we need to do.
We've had a long history with BFL, and it's really important for us at Millerbrook Farm to deal with people that we trust.
BFL is a great fit for us. We feel comfortable in our day-to-day, being covered with the horses, being covered with our coaching, being covered with our facility.
BFL are horse people. So we get great confidence that they know what they're doing when it comes to our coverage.
The beauty.
Yeah, the switch, white balance switch. Oh yeah, that must be. Okay, no, this one, yeah, okay. Yeah. I think it's at 56. Yeah, there's only two presets, 36 and 56. But even when I switch them, it's not even like the machine.
So we got our Kubota drag team out there doing a great job for us and getting this field all perfectly reconditioned here for the next part of our order. We're looking forward to having the team competition tonight. It's going to be a 3-round format. It's very, very unique. It's unique to Major League Show Jumping in terms of the round format. In round 1, all 8 teams are going to compete over a meter 50 course. Each team fields 3 riders who compete back-to-back. The team score is the total of their combined faults. So in that round, we're just adding the faults together. And the goal is to stay above the cut line because we only take the top 4 teams advancing into the next round. In round 2, they're returning in reverse order. The slate is wiped clean in round 2, so you start from scratch, and it's all about speed. A speed course where faults convert to time, penalties. Knock a pole and 3 seconds are added to the clock. So you got to go fast, but you got to keep the rails up or you're going to incur 3-second penalties. The twist, only 2 riders from each of the top 4 teams compete in the round. So the sum of their times determines the team score. The top 2 teams advance to the gold medal match. The bottom 2 teams advance to the bronze medal match. Moving on then into round 3, riding the same course as round 2 and returning to a 0 score. The medal round is a heads-up showdown that decides the podium standings. The team rider who didn't compete in round 2 takes the field for the medal round. 1 rider against 1 rider, fastest time wins. It's absolutely electric, that 3rd round. It's basically a face-off between 2 riders. Really, really exciting. The entire MLSJ team event takes about an hour and a half. Thrilling, high-stakes action is guaranteed. It's going to be super fun. We have 8 teams competing tonight. We've got Helios currently standing on top of the standings through 2 legs of the competition season. First leg was over at Thunderbird. Second leg was down in Michigan. And we'll have currently in the 2nd ranked position the Canadians, the Show Plus Northern Lights team, followed in 3rd by Eye Candy. 4th place there on the podium is Trailblazers. And 5th place ranking is Roadrunners. 6th, Spy Coast Spies. 7th, Crusaders. And trailing behind is Team Lugano. So running down the rankings right now through the first section of this very, very stacked field, we currently have only 4 clear through to the jump off. No Canadians have made it through yet. It is an international field, but all the Americans are at the top here. We've got Ken Farrington and Chateau Lou, Callie Schott and Teddy Z, Nicolette Hurt and Manolo Z, and Christian Vanderveen and Bolt Runs Gires. So we're facing off or looking forward to having a great, great jump off. Probably 8 to 10 coming through on that side, so it's going to be some very fast rounds on there. And of course, we're already guaranteed to see Ken Farrington and Kristen Vanderveen have a showdown from last night. We'll continue it on today, and they're a bit of rivals here, especially in Angelstone. Everybody wants to be on top of the podium, and it's going to be exciting finish today. We have the drag break all completely finished with the Kubota ring crew, and we're getting set for our first horse in the ring to continue in our great class here. It's the $37,000 FEI meter 45 class, proudly sponsored by Marble Hill. Well, we get started here in the bottom half of the order. He's seeing about 30 more horses to go. We'd like to acknowledge great sponsor, Marbill Farms. It's an absolute best place to retire your horse after our good friends are done with us in the show ring, and we want to put them out to pasture and have the great life for them. Their farm is absolutely beautiful. It's located in the hills, just about an hour away from Angelstone here. Great sponsors of Angelstone, Marble Hill Farms. After our little bit of a break here, we are back for action here in the BFL Stadium with the bottom half of our order. We got 30 more to go here. We're looking to cheer the Canadians on and join the other Americans through to the jump-off round. This is a good chance for us. This is Amy Miller. She's riding a Jaeger HX's Team Eye Candy and Millerbrook Farms entry. This is an 8-year-old gelding bred out of the Netherlands from Oostenhof. Couple jumps coming down there for Amy Miller and Jaeger HX to finish up with 9 total, adding on a time fall. We're going back-to-back Canadians to get things started here in the bottom half of the order here. This is Aaron Ballard. She's running Castor de Hem with Fort Elon Ferger. Come through the line there, that was Aaron Ballard finishing up with 2 rails, coming down 8 faults for Castor Dehem. And next up, another one of the Canadians. He was great last night. Fortunately, just a rail kept him out of the jump-off with Jaya Di San Giovanni. He's back with Entrepreneur, entry from Chadburn Holdings Incorporated. This is Mac Cone. Up and over the last fence, unfortunately, the first rail coming down at the Major League Show Jumping combination middle of the ring. Trip that up, we're going to add another 2 time faults on there. Total of 6 for Matt Conan, Entrepreneur. Next up here, one of our American riders here, Natalie Dean and Akota M. This entry from Marigold Sport Horses LLC. Is a 9-year-old mare from Toulon out of Germany. Through the line there, clipping the rail just at the end. That was Natalie Dean, ended up with a 4 fault, 68.39 with Akota M. Next up here, running of the United States of America, this is Catherine Tyree and Camilla Z. Up and over the last fence there. Beautiful round by Catherine Tyree and Camilla Z. So much hang time on that horse. No problem with the time allowed there. There's another one on through to the jump off. It's been a while since we saw a clear round after a few there at the beginning. There's only 5, and they're all Americans. They are absolutely dominating today in this international field. We're welcoming another one of our American friends here to Angelstone. This is Summerhill. She's riding La Belle SCF. Is owned by Andrea Simpson and Summerhill. It's an 11-year-old mare out of the USA. One rail coming down there for Summerhill and La Belle SCF there. The total score 4 faults, 67.52 there on the clock. We got our next rider here on course. This is Kareem Perez Nunez and Kamina Z. Three rails coming down, a total of 12 faults there for Kareem Perez Nunez and Kamina K. And next up, I'd like to welcome one of our great Irish friends here, Simon McCarthy, here at Angelstone for the first time. Great to welcome here. He's riding Florida and this is an entry from Equus Marl GmbH. This is a 9-year-old mare Holsteiner from Germany. Oh, and just the last fence there coming down, plus a couple more there. It's only up with 12 faults there, plus a time for Simon McCarthy in Florida N. Well, I'll tell you, this course has actually proved to be very, very difficult. You got that difficult line going away from the in-gate with a combination at the four corner. There's been so many horses take rails on either A or B of that combination, plus A or B of the mid combination. The huge Major League Show jumping jumps going across just in front of the team podium there by that beautiful Porsche that's sitting in the middle of the ring. That has been very difficult for sure. And today we only have five through to the jump off, so the cream is definitely rising to the top. Let's see if we can push another one through. This is American Sarah Happy and Jayo Heroncourt Z. Coming through the line there, 17 faults there will be for Sarah Happy and Jayo Heroncourt Z. Still looking for a first Canadian to make it through to the jump off. It's been very difficult all afternoon, and we'll see if we can push Carly Campbell Cooper through. She's riding Da Vinci KDWZ, an entry from John Jameson. .21 faults is going to be the score there for Carly Campbell Cooper. And we'll move on to the next rider here. This is Mark Blumen. He's riding Esther de Maugret. It's an entry from Nicolas Normand and Sarah Deneen. It's an 8-year-old mare out of France from Vigo, Chiche. Fortunately, that rail coming down there just at the end. Beautiful round he put together just until the final test there. That combination only so tricky. Heading to that far corner of the ring, 68-43. 4 faults for our Blumen. Next up, one of our Americans. This is Vanessa Hood. She's riding Easy Girls. Entry from Mario Onate. This is an 11-year-old mare from Germany, from Clontargos. Fortunate rail coming down for Vanessa Hood and Easy Girl for faults. Next up, we welcome a Canadian back here. Great success lately here at Angelstone. She's running a new horse, Hedesh VDS. This is Lauren Hayes. Coming through the line, we finally have a Canadian making it through to the jump off, but it's just a rail coming down there. Did I see it at the end? Oh, just the last rail there. Let's see here. 4 faults for Lauren Hayes and Hedesh VDS. Next up, making his return to Canada. He's been gone for quite some time. It's always great to see our friends return back to Canada to compete here, especially when it's at Angelstone. This is Chris Pratt. He's riding Mardini, an entry from Sweet Oak Farm. And up and over the final jump there. Unfortunately, a couple time faults being added on, but a wonderful, wonderful fault-free round on the jumping side. Only 2 time faults going to hold Chris back, though, but that's going to be enough to slot him into the top 10. He'll head into the 7th place position. That was Chris Pratt and Mardini. And next up, riding out of Ireland, one of our team riders. This is Nikki Galligan riding Hermione de Lodez. It's entry from Maxime Corday. Up and over the last one. Yes, he has got it. A beautiful, beautiful clear round there for Nikki Galligan and Hermione de Lodez. Very, very difficult to make it through the jump off. We only have six through to the jump off so far. It's going to be an exciting finish, though. I know that Nikki's going to be going very fast. We're going to have, of course, Kristen there, Nicolette, Callie, Kent, and Catherine Tyree as well. So it's going to be really, really stacked field in the jump off. Moving on to one of our Canadians. And again, I made a missed call. I didn't see it up on the board there for Lauren Hayes. She did not make it through, but hopefully Wesley can. This is Wesley Newlands and Maestro Van had been involved. Yes, finally, we waited almost to the end. 51 horses through before we get a Canadian through to the jump off. Wesley Newlands gets it done with Maestro Van had been involved, so we didn't have any Canadians in the jump off last night. All 7 were from the international field. We'll be looking forward to cheering down Wesley as we have a bit of a face-off against the Americans, and the one Irishman Nikki Galligan in there with Hermione de Lodez. Moving on to our next American rider. This is Natalie Dean riding .com Dohui. Up and over the final combination there, that was Lauren Esdell and Hilco for faults at 69.38 there on the clock for her. Ladies and gentlemen, he was absolutely electrifying last night and as well his first horse, Chateau Lou. He's back for more. This is Ken Farrington on Tulana. count them 2 there for Kent Farrington and Tulana. 70-57 through to the jump off there. Wonderful ride for him. He's master of consistency. Beautiful string of horses he has up here. And Tulana will be facing off against Chateauloup. Knowing Kent, he's going to be trying going 1-2 knockout punches with those two. It's going to be an absolutely exhilarating jump off round to see him face off against the other 7 riders we have locked up and loaded. We've got our next Canadian here competing under the Show Plus Northern Lights team. This is Sean Jobin and Cuba Libre V. Up and over the final fence. That's 2 in a row. It looks like unbelievable riding there for Sean Jobin. Of course, only a time fault holds them back from the jump off, unfortunately. Just over. It was 0.35 seconds over the time allowed. We were looking to pass another Canadian through. It's only Wesley Newlands who's standing there as the lone Canadian in the jump off round, but great set of riding for him. Moving on to our next American rider. This is Ashley Baker and Carissa Lubeta. Come through the line there. We're going to be tacking on some time faults, I believe, there over the time allowed. 4 jumping faults, 2 time there for Ashley Baker and Carissa Lubeta. We have another one of our Show Plus Northern Lights riders here. This is Taylor St. Jacques and Happy Cena. Happy Cena is owned by Tal Milstein Stables. It's a 10-year-old mare. up and over through to the end. They're going to be under the time allowed. Very good riding there for sure from Taylor St. Jacques and Hapicina. Unfortunately, a rail will keep them out of the jump off, but great riding from our Canadians, Taylor St. Jacques and Hapicina. Next up, one of our American riders. This is Grant Seger. He's riding Yogi FLP. It's owned by Fox Lair Performance LLC. This is a 12-year-old gelding Hanoverian out of Germany. Wow, another American through to the jump off. That was Grant Seger and Yogi FLP putting up an incredible performance. That beautiful 12-year-old gelding, and I'm sure he's going to be real happy about that. Great welcoming our American riders up here to Angelstone for the very first time. Hope you're enjoying Canada and your experience here. It's going to be an actually action-packed jump-off round coming up. We still have a number of great riders still to come, so probably adding at least a couple more through. So maybe we might be pushing up to around the 10 mark there on the jump-off. Should be pretty exciting. Grant Seger moving through with Yogi FLP. And next up, we welcome one of our Canadians over here. This is Lexi Ray. Lexi's riding Lukaku VD Bishop. Is an 11-year-old gelding out of Belgium from Plot Blue. We have elimination there for Lexi Ray and Lukaku. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very long class, one of the longest FEI classes we've ever hosted here at Angelstone. Over 60 horses going through, and this is the final horse here of the first round. We'll see if we can add one more through to the jump off. This is Samantha White and Barambo. Barambo's a 13-year-old stallion from Balubay du Rouet from Germany. Some outstanding jumping there, but if we look on the board, we think we might have some time faults there. And for its 2 time faults, very tight time allowed given how many riders are in the field. But that horse is getting some nice attention there from Samantha White. What a great round of jumping on this very difficult course for Barambo. Very nice ride for her, for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's how it breaks down. We have a total of, I believe, 8 through to the jump off. We're going to be seeing Kent Farrington first with Chateau Lou, followed by Callie Scott and Teddy Z. Nicolette Hurt riding Manolo Z, followed by Christian Vanderveen and Bull Runs Giray. We're also going to be seeing Catherine Tyree with Camilla Z, followed by Nikki Galligan and Hermione de Lodez. And Canadian, the lone Canadian, let me add, is Wesley Newlands, and Maestro Van had been involved, so had to be cheering Wesley around as they navigate the course. And follow that is Ken Farrington and Tulana and Grant Sager with Yogi FLP. That's a total of 9. 9 coming back there for the jump off. So we're going to go back and we're going to get the ring all conditioned and set up for the short course. We'll be back in a few minutes. If you're joining us up in VIP, enjoy yourself up there. It is a wonderful place to be. And don't forget, if you're coming back for tonight, is that we've got the valet parking service exclusively for our VIP guests. It's the first time we've introduced that at Angelstone, so we hope if you're bringing the car back that you will make use of it. And if you happen to have a few drinks, well, maybe you want to take an Uber back to the Delta Hotel, if that's where you're staying. And play it safe, and we'd love to see each and every one of you tonight. 8:30 start time for the team competition. Riding to win over there. That's how it's done. 31-54. It was absolutely exhilarating to see Ken come through here towards the BFL Canada jump, and he looked like he was going to launch. Made the right decision to add one and got over the fence nonetheless. I don't know if that time will be beat. 31-54. That's how it's written to get things started here in the class or the jump off round. This is round 2. Chateau Lou and Ken Farrington currently on top with 31-54. Moving on to one of our team riders for the Crusaders. This is Callie Schott and Teddy Z. One rail down, but let's see how fast that time was, because she was moving pretty fast through there. 32:15. So that was about 0.6 seconds slower than Kent's time, but they were flying indeed. So it looks like Kent's time may be challenged, but it's going to take a quick one and a lot of aggressive riding. Moving on to our next competitor here in the jump off. Like I said, we are scheduled to see 9. We've seen 2 so far. Moving on to our next rider. This is Nicolette Hurt riding Manolo Z. Coming home clear through the final jump there. Great round indeed for Nicolette Hurt and Manolo Z. And that won't be enough, of course, to catch Chateau Lou, but it's a nice time to slide into second. 34:61 their time, double clear. So now we have a little bit of a face-off. Kristen Vanderveen knows exactly the time she needs to do, how many strides she needs to drop, and where on the course to make up that time to challenge Ken Farrington. This is Kristen Vanderveen and Bull Runs Giray. Gallop down to the end. All the rails stay up. It's going to be 35-26 there. Not enough to catch Kent, but enough for third so far. Just behind Nicolette Hurt there. Great riding by Kristen Vanderveen and Bull Runs Giray. Got our next American rider here on course. This is Catherine Tyree and Camilla Z. Chasing down the line there. Another great round and a double clear. 34-17 there for Catherine Tyree. That is now up to second place. Second place. So she displaced Nicolette Hurt there from the second place position, but it was still about 2.5 seconds slower than Kent. He's holding right now at 31-54. What an exciting jump off this is turning out to be. We haven't had any lead changes, but everyone's jostling for that number 2 position. We'll see if anyone can test Kent to see what Nikki Gallinen has in store. This is Hermione de Lodez. Pretty fast round there. Unfortunately, a rail coming down there for Nikki Gallagher and Hermione de Lodez. So as it looks right now, we have the lone Canadian here, Leslie Newlands, set to come in, and we have Ken Farrington back there warming up with his second horse. I know Ken, he's going to be trying to go 1 and 2, and he's definitely got some wiggle room there with a current time of 34:17 being the base time on the second place position with Catherine Tyree. So he can definitely slot in there above her. So we'll see if Wesley Newlands plays it conservative or he tries to burn some rubber. We'll be cheering him on, hoping for a double clear round from him. And here we go with the lone Canadian. We'll be cheering on against this international field. It's only Wesley Newlands representing Canada here for Maestro Van Het Binnenval. Let's cheer them on. Up and over the final jump. Very good time indeed. 33-30. That is enough to go up to the second place position for the blazing Canadian Wesley Newlands. Absolutely bearing down on Kent's time. And I know he was looking on. I said, wow, I didn't know if it could be beat, but she gave it a good run. She displaces Catherine Tyree down the order, and Canada moves to the number 2 position. Great ride there for Wesley Newlands. She had Kent at about an even pace heading over the BFL Canada Oxford, but just kind of took a couple extra strides there as she reset for that final launch down the line. And it would have been interesting if she had kept it moving through that pace. But anyways, great performance for her. She's going to slot into second place position with only 1 left to go. And Kent, we just saw, so he's going to be back there warming up. We're going to afford him the proper amount of time in order to prepare his horse. And if you look up on the board, we see him warming up there, and we'll be welcoming him in, and we'll see if he can, in fact, displace Wesley down to the third place position, take 1-2 here in this great class, $37,000 FEI meter 45 class, presented by Marble Hill. So as I mentioned before, we had Kent lead us off there with Chateau currently holding on top at 31.54, and we're affording Kent enough time to properly warm up and prepare his final mount there, Tulena. And it's really breaking down to whether or not Wesley Newlands places second or down in the order a little bit more into third, because we're going to see Kent Farrington for sure burning rubber with this last horse. He's set to go with Tulena, and he's just warming up right now. We should see him back here in a couple minutes' time for the exciting conclusion of this 62-horse field in the Marble Hill meter 45 class here to get things going in the afternoon portion of the program. We'll also be seeing another class after this prior to the 8:30. Great presentation there. The team competition set to go tonight. All the lawn seats and the bleachers are free, so if you want to be here, get here a little bit early, get good spots. It's going to be a packed house tonight and tomorrow night for one of the greatest show jumping experiences in Eastern Canada in history. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The team format is really, really cool. We'll explain all the rules for the 3-round format. They're specific to the Major League show jumping format, so we'll be running through all the different rules, but it's definitely a team competition. It culminates in a 1-versus-1 face-off in round 3. There's nothing like it in the sport of show jumping. We hope you absolutely are thrilled, and of course the halftime show is going to be off the hook. I can't give away all the details right now. I've just been given the base details with it, but it is going to be quite a show. We have a halftime show tonight and, of course, on Saturday night as well. So excited to welcome the world here to Angel Stone and share the park with everybody. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the final horse to go here in this meter 45 class. It has been a big field indeed. To go up on top, you've got to be clear, and fast. This is Kent Farrington back with his second ride of the jump-off, riding Tulena, going for the top, 31.54, the time to beat, currently being held by Chateau. And launching up over the second fence there, and it was interesting. We were talking a little bit. Kent is such a talented rider, whether or not he would target in at his leading time at 31.54, or if he would lay back and just challenge the second place time. But he took it a little bit conservative there around the course, and he will slot in down at 6th place position with Tulena. And we're moving on now to our final competitor. Final competitor here is going to be Grant Sager and Yogi FLP. It's our last of the jump off here. Which he cheering on this American. He knows the time he needs to beat. Let's see if he got it in store. Rail down there at the Pommies jump. We look to the time, 32.96 there, and that is not going to be enough to displace in the top 3 there. The 32.96 is actually going to move up there. Well, it was one of the fastest time, but of course a rail coming down there for Grant Sager, which means Wesley Newlands is comfortably there in second, but Ken Farrington's going to be the one here. His second win of the last 2 days, almost 3 last night. I mean, I didn't think his time was going to be beat. He got beat just by a hair, but he's got to be happy with the results there. 2 in the jump off and the win today, as well as the speed class yesterday. So the winning continues there in the Farrington camp. We'll be welcoming our victors into the ring for presentations in just a moment. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be counting down our top 10 here in our meter 45 class here, presented by Marble Hill Farms. 10th place honor is going to go to Sydney Schulman and Jay Boston SE. 9th place honor is going to go to Ireland's Nikki Gallagher and Hermione de Lodez. 8th place award to Grant Sager and Yogi FLP. 7th place honor is going to be Kaylee Scott and Teddy Z. 6th place honor is going to go to Kent Farrington and Tulena. 5th place award to Kristen Vanderveen and Bull Runs Gire. And just off the podium mark was Nicolette Hurt and Manolo Z. Great riding from them. We're going to head the podium over and welcome our class sponsors into the ring, Marble Hill Farms. And they will be represented today by Mr. Scott Walker and Kean White, as well as Sheila Johnstone and Kelly White, to be making their day down into the ring for the trophy presentation.
Should we go down? No, we'll just wait till and the horses haven't come in yet. When the horses come in and then the clock is all set, they can do their work. Because it's like herding sheep out there. Even if it's only 3 horses.
We good to send horses in here?
Do they get show plus t-shirts for tonight when they're in the big class? Oh, okay, for that. Excellent choice. That's nice. Oh, that's cool. Okay, here they come.
Okay, right, here we go with the presentation. We got the horses coming in. Marble Hill, sponsor for today's class. Tremendous supporters of us here at Angel Stone and of the sport in Canada, supporting Sam Walker as an athlete for a number of years and supporting the sport here. Right, they're absolutely tremendous supporters.
Yeah, Marble Hill Farm has been big supporters, pretty much entering in the sponsorship field with us, not only with Angelstone, but a number of other horse parks. And of course, a big supporter of the Walker camp as well. You see Sam Walker has ascended so well, and a lot of that goes towards the team that he's built around him. And Marble Hill Farm has been in his corner for the past few years, supporting him as one of the top young riders in Canada. And they really, truly are great horsemen and women and really care about their horses, especially on their retirement facility there at Marble Hill Farms, which is one of the best in North America.
And you know, with Ian and Eric recently retiring, you know, Canada's dying for support for these athletes. So having someone like Marble step up and support a Canadian athlete is really a huge deal. So Marble, thank you for the support you give to Angelstone, but also thank you so much for the support you give to the Canadian team.
Thank you very much to them, and we always could use a few more supporters of the sport, as you suggested, Kean, especially here in Canada, and with young riders just like Sam Walker coming up through the ranks. And now we are set to present our winners in the $37,000 FEI Meter 45 Table A speed class. It was amazing, amazing performance today with the top three set to take the podium from the United States of America. Please welcome to the podium in her position, Catherine Tyree and Camilla Z.
Now, Ryan, this is Kat's second visit here to Toronto. She was here last year, back again this year. Not on a major league team this year, but Kat, what were your thoughts of the course today? It was quite difficult.
I definitely thought the course was much more difficult than I anticipated. Being a qualifier for the two-star Grand Prix, it was pretty hefty the whole way around, and the time was quite tight, so you really had to be on your toes the whole way and really trust your horse and have a good plan and stick to it.
Yeah, for sure. So far this week, our course designer has taken this 5-star very seriously, and we're jumping 5-star jumps this week, which is great to see.
Yeah, to only have 9 make it through to the jump off 62 starters with that quality of field must have been a very, very difficult course for sure. Speaking of big test, big jumping, we had a lot of Canadians in today, but only one make it through to the jump off. They rode absolutely incredible. Please put your hands together for a big Angelstone welcome to Canadian Wesley Newlands, who rode Maestro Van Het Binnenveld to the second place position.
And Ryan, Wesley grew up here, rode here, trained here. She's been in the U.S. for a number of years. It's great to have her back. Great to have her on the podium. Wesley, what's it like to be back here in Canada, showing kind of in your hometown?
It's so nice. I love being here.
Awesome. Thanks, Wesley.
Welcome back, Leslie. It's a great position to be, and you made a challenge to this man, but he held through, and what a performance it was with Chateau Lou. Please welcome to the podium your day's winner, Kent Farrington. This is Kent's second win in 2 days with the same horse. That horse is absolutely electrifying to watch, and what a round he put together. Kent, congratulations. Any words for Kean there on your win today?
Yeah, Kent, 2 wins so far. A lot of big classes coming. What we got in store for tomorrow night?
You know, tall order to try to win everything, but I always like that challenge. I'll try my best. Sort of a rebuilding year for me. These are a lot of young horses. I think a lot of them have a lot of talent, and they were showing that today.
Cool. Well, Kubota Grand Prix tomorrow night, guys. I think Kent is one of the favorites for sure. We'll get a photo ride, and then we'll go to the anthem.
And with that, if you could have everybody please rise and remove your headwear for the playing of the U.S. National Anthem in honor of our winner, Kent Farrington. Wonderful. Congratulations to all of our winners. We'll get them back up on their horses and we'll do a bit of a victory gallop as we congratulate our winners. Top 3 here in a very, very competitive class.
And right, let's just give everyone a heads up here. We're going to start building. Main event tonight, 8:15 start. Doors open at 6 for spectators. If you want to grab a spot on the berm before everyone gets here, we recommend doing it soon.
And don't forget also, Kian, we've got a $73,000 meter 50 individual speed class coming up there as well at 6:30 time. That is going to be an awesome class too. If you look through the order, there's some great competitors, including Ken Farrington on Austria too. So we'll see if Ken can continue the winning ways, or if any of the rest of the field of riders are going to give him a run for his money. Let's get on our riders on our horses and gallop them off here in the Marble Hill send-off here at Angelstone. Your class winners, Kent Farrington and Chateau Lou, Wesley Newlands and Maestro Van Het Binnenveld, and Catherine Tyree and Camilla Z.